And I don't care about Lamar's injury history either. Like, he's an MVP. He's won MVP. Kyler hasn't won shit. Speaking of Kyler Murray's Arizona Cardinals starring on Hard Knocks, I'm actually pretty excited about that. It's actually a decent team. I like the Colts one. The Colts one was good because you got to learn, like, Jonathan Taylor and, you know, their COVID testing. So it was good shit behind the scenes.
I didn't watch that one, the one that was in during the season.
Yeah, it was good.
I didn't watch that one.
It was good.
I watched the one before.
Like the training camps?
I didn't watch the one during the season.
The reason I like the in-season ones is because, like, when you're watching the training camp ones, it's guys that barely make the team. It's guys that get cut and never play. At least with the ones that are in-season, like, you get more insight to, like, the star players, like Carson Wentz. Not that he's a star by any means. I gotta watch what I say. And then, like, Jonathan Taylor and shit like that, Michael Pittman. So I like the in-season ones. That one was really good. So I'm excited to see the Arizona one because they got a lot of good freaking names, like D-Hop, Kyler, AJ Green, Zach Ertz, Rondell Moore in his second year. So, like, James Conner, not related to Sarah. I mean, they don't look alike, so I could be wrong there. In other news, before we talk fantasy, Patriots drawing concern with uncertainty of who's calling the plays. Listen, it's going to be Bill Belichick calling the plays. 22 years ago, Bill Belichick said the greatest thing about his leadership was he was going to delegate his responsibilities to great coordinators. 22 years later, Bill's taken all the autonomy away. He's calling all the shots. And just so you know, the last time Bill called an offense was when he was in Cleveland. And just so you know, that team went 6-10.
Did you hear what Mac Jones said today at the OTAs?
No, I didn't hear today's.
Him and Joe Judge are going to learn the offense together from Brian Hoyer.
Awesome. That's the confidence we're looking for. Hoyer, you know what? Hoyer at this point,
Hoyer should have just been the quarterback.
Oh, 100%. Like, just have him be the coach.
Yeah.
Give him a clipboard. You got Zap. You got Mac. Hoyer knows the system. He's fucking
that
played in
kid's
it.
Short.
Who's that? Zap?
Zappy?
Yeah.
I was watching the videos today on Sports Boston there, and, like, he's short.
Yo, he can sling it though.
Oh, I know he can sling it, but he's like Kyler Murray short.
Yeah, I'm excited about him though. If, like, Mac goes down, it's going to be good to have, like, a good backup, and I think he can be a pretty good, formidable backup. I think he's better than Hoyer.
You think he'll beat out Hoyer?
Oh, I do think he'll beat out Hoyer. I think Hoyer is that mentor that they want. He knows the system, and it seems like what they're going to try to do is just do a lot that fits Mac Jones. Like, and this is like one of the things that I think Brady really wanted more autonomy in when he was here. Is, like, he wanted the autonomy in the offensive scheme, in the play calling ability, what he liked, what he didn't like. I think Bill's going to give a little bit of that to Mac. Maybe he doesn't let Mac call the plays, but I think he's going to give autonomy to Mac to say, like, listen, this is what best fits my arm. This is what I'm not good at, and I think that's going to be beneficial. But you got guys that have never called offensive plays. Bill Belichick's the only one, and the team that he had when he did do that was not good. So, my opinion, Bill's stubbornness is going to fucking kill us. I see us going like 8-9, and I hate to say that because, like, I really want a good football season, but it's frustrating that he does not, like, go out and find a good coordinator. You know, he's very loyal to his people, and honestly, it's going to be his crutch. Like, if we go 8-9 this year and don't make the playoffs, he's got to be on a very, very thin ice with Robert Kraft. Maybe he doesn't get fired, but maybe Kraft pushes him and says, hey, be the GM. We're going to get in a new coach. Like, we've got to win a playoff game this year, or we're going to lose it as Pats fans. But Mac Jones reportedly in great shape, hoping to improve on his strong rookie campaign. Like, he did look slimmer. Stomach's gone. It looks like he's slinging the rock pretty well. But then again, dude, like, this is all fluff. Like, we're fucking talking about this May 24th. Put it against a different defense, then we'll talk. I'm telling you, Kendrick Bourne's going to be our number one. I was listening to some shit this morning where they were talking about, is it Devontae Parker's wide receiving core as if he's the number one, and they were all like, yep, it's his, yep, it's his. I think it's Kendrick Bourne's. I think the relationship with Mac is strong. So, what do I know, man? Okay, what do I know? Okay, I work retail. Football, they don't pay me to play the game. They don't even pay me to watch it. I gotta give up. I gotta start charging as a fan. Yeah, man. Let's talk fantasy. So, I want to get your take on a few of these trades before we get in. So, I made a lot of trades since Friday's show.
Why does that surprise me?
Yeah. So, listen, I feel really good about it. So, in a different dynasty league, I traded my 4th round pick, which is 35th overall, for Chase Claypool. I needed wide receiver depth. Here's why. My wide receivers were Amari Cooper, Odell Beckham, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Darnell Mooney. So I traded a 4th for Chase Claypool.
Not bad.
I don't think it's terrible because I don't think there's going to be great depth at wide receiver in the 4th round. And if it is, it's going to be a guy that I got to wait on for a year. At least Chase Claypool, if Deontay goes down, he gives me some flexibility. So I like that. I also traded my 11th overall pick. So here's the deal. This was my second first rounder. I got this pick in a trade. I traded Deshaun Watson last season to Scott in exchange for his second round pick. So pick number 11 overall, I traded for Javonte Williams, which I really like because my running backs already were Cam Akers, Alvin Kamara, James Conner. Now I add in Javonte Williams. So when Kamara gets suspended for beating people down, because that shit's on camera, I'll end up with Akers, Conner, Javonte.
Alright.
I don't hate that pick.
Alright.
So I think I won those 2 trades. We had another trade in the league where my boy Sean acquired D-Hop and Aaron Rodgers in exchange for Devontae Adams, and the other person was Darrell Williams, which he's not even rostered. But I actually thought it was. I think on the surface this looks like a one-sided trade, but if you think about Aaron Rodgers' longevity, he's got maybe a couple strong years left, and then he's going to fade off. You got D-Hop suspension this year. You get Devontae Adams in exchange, who's young. He's only 29, so he's got like a good couple of years left. I'm okay with that trade.
Yeah.
So what's your take there? Devontae Adams in exchange for D-Hop and Aaron Rodgers. Dynasty League. So these are keepers that are going to be on the rosters in like 5 years.
I mean, it's not horrible. Okay.
I don't disagree. In my other Dynasty League, I acquired Deontay Johnson and moved up 4 picks in exchange for Aaron Jones, and he moved back 4 picks. So I traded Aaron Jones. I got Deontay Johnson, which was the top 6 wide receiver last year, and I got to move up 5 picks in the draft. I think that's probably one of the fairest trades I've done. Usually I shake people down and I win trades. That one I kind of saw as like, that was probably my most fairest trade of my life. Because it actually was like value for value. And then Stephon Diggs was traded for CEH and Tyreek Hill and a first rounder. That was highway robbery. Someone got taken behind the woodshed. So Diggs was traded for Diggs was traded with CEH. So it's Diggs and CEH for Tyreek and a first.
I got news for you.
Alright, slap me with it.
Darrell Williams. He does have a team. He
Who's
signed
that?
today.
Who? What team?
He signed with Arizona Cardinals.
Behind James?
He was with the Chiefs last year.
Yeah, I remember.
And he signed with the Cardinals because Mahomes said he's a good teammate.
Okay, so he's going to back up James Conner. Conner's injury prone. He might have some value. That could be good. That might be. I mean, that makes that trade a little bit better to the surface.
So props to him.
Yeah, props to
Props to that guy.
Yeah. Way to do your research, fuckers. But Diggs and CEH for Tyreek and a first. That's basically Diggs for Hill and then you're valuing Clyde Edwards-Helaire for a first, I don't value him as a first. I don't even value him as a second. That guy's been
I hate to
bust.
say it, but being a Chiefs fan and everything, he's injury prone already.
He's not going to be who you guys signed someone. Oh, you guys got Rojo.
Yep.
He's going to be your bell cow back, and then CEH is going to be
He's
a
been
third
hurt
down.
too a lot too.
Yeah, but like he can at least carry the ball. He's got fumble fucking problems.
Yeah.
But I'd rather him carry the
I
ball.
think we still have Derek Williams, so I'm not too.
You're going off script.
What?
CEH sucks. He's a bust. I'm telling you.
I don't know. I just said I think we still have Derek Williams too.
Yeah, I'm just saying CEH is a bust.
I agreed with you.
Why are you yelling at me?
I agree. I said he's injury prone.
Last trade, AJ Dillon in a second for Austin Eckler. The pick is what saves the trade. AJ Dillon's going to have a pretty good year. I think Aaron Jones, we talked about it last week, Aaron Jones is definitely going to play more pass catching opportunity.
Aaron Jones is going to get wore out.
But I agree. It's still Aaron when the season starts. It's Aaron Jones's backfield. Week 6 to 8, AJ Dillon will start taking bulk of the carries, and Aaron Jones will start playing pass catching back, wide receiver. They might even play 2 back sets, which will be super confusing. Who knows with that fucking team? So, all right. A lot of trades this week, man. I'm telling you, I love Dynasty Leagues. I love Dynasty Leagues because you can tackle everything in the offseason. You want to make trades in the offseason, you can. Your rosters are still there. We did do contracts. We eliminated the contracts. We got a rumor out there that we might go salary cap. That's kind of confusing. So I don't know what we'll do, but I do love the Dynasty atmosphere because it keeps people engaged. And we're in May, so... and we've already had like 10 trades in our league, which is awesome. So, all right, man, let's start with the rankings. Let's start with wide receiver. Let's give me a wide receiver that's not in your top 10, but you thought that he would be.
Is not in my top 10?
Yep. Yeah, who's like a sleeper that could be in your top 10? Or you could see ending up in the top 10, but he isn't in yours.
I know I upset a lot of people last week saying Tua was in my top 10. But this guy, he was number 11 on my list. And when you see my top 10, I don't think you can argue. But Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. So
he's not in my top 10.
He is not in my top 10 either. So my non-top 10 was Jalen Waddle. I didn't put him in my top 10, but I could see him.
I don't have him as a top 10 either.
Yeah, I could see him being a top 10 because I think
wide receivers and tight ends, it's like you can flip a coin.
No doubt.
Throw a dart at a dartboard.
He's Tyreek injury away from being in the top 10, or he's Tyreek taking all the coverage and being in the top 10. But he can be in the top 10. All right, so start me off. So who's your number 10? Who's in your top 10 for fantasy wide receivers?
Who's number 10?
Yeah.
Number 10, I have A.J. Brown.
Okay, I do not have A.J. Brown in my top 10.
I think Devontae Smith is going to get the bulk of the looks, but A.J. Brown, I mean, he stays healthy. He's gonna. Like I said, wide receiver is. Like I said, it's a toss up between him and Evans. So it's like.
Yeah, he could. I think A.J. Brown could easily be in the top 10. My concern is his knees are always an issue, and then I think the one thing that he won't have in Philly that he had in Tennessee, there would be a lot of weeks where they did not require A.J. Brown to practice. They allowed him to intentionally miss practice to rest his knees, and I think that hurt him in the games because then he was trying to do too much without being in the best shape. Versus, I think in Philly he's going to really have to work at it, but he's definitely. I mean, in dynasty leagues last year he was usually the number 1 wide receiver taken. I mean, his upside is just that. The other problem that I would have putting him in my top 10